Hello everyone, another Charles here, and today guys I'm gonna review a Slizer set, also known as Throwbots in the US, and it's gonna be of course a Slizer from the second wave, and it's called Blaster. So I don't have the box, yes the box because it was a bigger Slizer, so no canisters at least I think, so I don't get the box but I still have the instruction booklet, which is here, and here you can of course see blasters running across some cities, and tons of fires, explosion, really cool and we have an end of the world feeling, but it still looks pretty nice, I have to say, seriously. It's marvelous illustrations, and now of course you got the instruction to build Blaster. Yeah, it shows some gimmicks, of course, which is showing these gimmicks, and then you have the instruction for the common wave, the second wave, which can be made with flare, spark, and Blaster itself, of course, and you've got all the steps to build this guy. Well, okay, no, well, yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh yeah, in fact, it's quite intelligent because it starts with the finished blaster slizers. In fact, they put off some parts and then add the parts you will need to build the combiner model, because I think the blaster model has some parts in similar with the combiner itself. Well, pretty ingenious, and by the way it looks like that. And yes, we got 2 discs with this set, and I do not have this disc because I bought mine used, in fact, so I do not have this disc. So here, just to show you the little illustration on this, here you can see the 3 Slizer from the second wave looking really nice, and here the disc represents the same illustration as the one of the instruction booklet, so the blaster Slizer running across firing a blazing city. And now for the set itself. Right here, so you can see the color scheme is black and yellow, which was the same as Judge or Jet Throwbot, and it works again pretty nice. I'm really fond of this color scheme because this black and yellow just mix perfectly together. I have to say that I'm really a big fan of this color scheme. So it's also the case with these blaster Slizers. So the little tunnel one, of course. And now I'm gonna explain, of course, how this set works. And it's really simple, in fact, because you can divide this set into two subsections, well, 2 sections, in fact, which are the upper one and the lower one. So we're gonna begin, of course, with the lower one, which is composed of the legs and some parts which will be useful to link the 2 parts, the 2 sections together. Well, like that. So here we begin. So this part here, this axle, excuse me, this axle right here are not really are useful because they will just be used to link the upper part, and then this part with the little gears and these connectors plus the elastics are just used to hold the disc, which will be useful to cover some hole, in fact, in the overall design. So this part is not really useful, not really, well, they just serve one purpose, which is this one. And now for the lower part itself, which is the 2 legs, in fact. So you will see really quickly that, in fact, all these Slizers, even if it looks bigger, is made with all the traditional Slizer parts. So for example, you can see here the feet are made with some Slizers heads. Then we're gonna have this Slizer body part used as legs again, and then finally we're gonna have 2 connectors linked there and here, then some Slizers arms legs, and then some other connectors linked together, and here you go, you have your legs. Really simple, in fact, but work pretty well, and kind of reminiscent, of course, of the legs from the toy character, which will be, in fact, released in 2001, well, kind of 1 year or 2 years later. Also, you can notice this little gray part, which is useful to hold the parts and not making falling off, because of course these parts are held with an axle, and of course it's an axle into a pinhole, so of course this means it's kind of keep on moving, and it's really an important part because it's one major drawback of this set is this 2 little foot which keeps moving on their own. So I think I've talked about the lower part, yes, because of course the second leg is exactly the same as the other one. So here you go, work pretty well with all your classic Slizer's parts. And now for the upper part, which can be again divided into subsections. So the main one, of course, is really classic because it's just your average body, your average Slizer's body frame, in fact, with this part, the little gears in there which can be turned, the big gears used on this one, plus the head, and plus the visor, which is in fact a cross between the jungle one and the judge one, as you can clearly see right here. And of course you can turn this in this way. The only difference, of course, is that on this part you do not have any connector to link, of course, the legs, but you have this tip shape part which will be useful to link, of course, the lower part, and there's this longer axle which will be useful to make the body bulkier. And to make this, we're gonna use this part. So it's really useful, it's really easy, it's really simple because we're gonna use another body part. Then we're going to use this technique panel part, which will be useful as kind of a shoulder pad, in fact, if you can say so. And then you have the arms. So we're going to link that in this way, thanks to the little axle hole and the axle right here. Like that. And then, of course, you can see there was supposed to be a hole between these two parts, but thanks to the panel part, the hole is filled, if I can say so. And then for the arms itself, they are all thanks to this little part, which allows this rotation movement. And then you have, of course, your classic Slizers, arms, and connectors. And at the end of it, you got your technique panel used as a shield, kind of like the Spark set. And then the other part is exactly the same, apart from the arm itself, or it is the weapon itself, which is not another technique panel, but this time more like a spear made of two throwing disc arm. And of course, they work quite perfectly, I think. Yeah. And that's all, guys, for the upper part. Now we're gonna link the two parts together. Like this. Then I'm gonna put, of course, the disc, because you can see if you look on the front, it's really kind of look empty. So we're gonna put the disc right here, which is on this review a judge disc. Because as I said earlier, it's normally another type of disc. It's really the blaster's disc, which is used right here. And we are done, guys, with the blaster set. So just in terms of size comparison, here's the comparison with Spark. You can see it's really bigger than a normal Slizer, kind of twice the size, in fact, if I can say so. Or at least a little less than twice the size, but see, it's really taller than a normal Slizer. Again, a little taller one for those who have not seen the first one at the beginning of the review, and just to remind you how it looks like. And now we're going to see the articulation. So of course the head can turn thanks to the little gears. Also notice that unlike the other Slizers with all the, in fact, the shoulders and head turns, here it's just the head which turn up and down, because the arms are linked with another part. And so the arms itself can turn in this way, which are not really a problem because the shoulder part follows the movement, so no big problem right here. And then, of course, except for this rotation points, you got your two average ball joints, which means you can turn the parts in different ways. Well, that's quite all. The same goes for the second arm, of course, plus this little rotation point for the shield right here. And then we have the legs with, in fact, kind of two ball joints, but in fact 4 ball joints because of what use here, but in fact just 2 points of articulation. So here's the maximum you can get when putting the parts in this way. And of course, you can do some pause, or at least try to do some pause, because yeah, really the main problem, as you can see, is that when you just keep it, it will not stay like this. No, it will not stay like that. It will fall off because of this part, which are loose, in fact, kind of loose. So it's really a big problem. So in fact, it's up to you to try to make some pose, yes, for example, like this, where the sliders hold well. And for example, you can try to make some pose like this. Okay, I try. And here we go. And that's all, guys, on this Blasters review. So what to say? So for me, seriously, it's an excellent set because first of all, the color scheme is great for me, at least for me. Then the main construction is really refreshing in comparison of the other Slizers, because even if the other Slizers are already different, this one is bigger, so this means a different type of construction, and that's really well refreshing in comparison of the other Slizers. So really a good set, I have to say, in terms of construction, in terms of building. Also, what I have to say, yes, in terms of overall design, it's really great because it's really look like a leader, really a boss, in fact, a Slizer boss, if you can say so, because it's bigger, of course, first of all, but then you also have the shoulder part, which really look nice, the spear made of two throwing arm discs, which really look nice, the legs, which are really bulkier. So again, in terms of construction, color scheme, and overall design, it's really great. Again, in terms of articulation, it's also pretty good because you have more articulation than the average Slizers, and they work pretty well. At least most of all work pretty well because, as I've said, in fact the major and maybe the only drawback of this set is the fact that, well, these two parts are really horrible, and really can someone waste your pose, in fact waste your attempt at making some pose, spoil, in fact, not really waste, but more like spoil your attempt at making pose, and it's really a big problem. But apart from this problem, and also maybe the fact that there isn't any new parts, apart from the visor and stuff like that, it's really a pretty good set. Seriously, it's a pretty good one, pretty excellent one, at least for me, and I can really advise you to build this one, even for this little problem right here, and which I think you can try to modify yourself to prevent falling off. And that will be all for this Blaster review, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Well, maybe I'm gonna do another pause. Hope you enjoy it, and well, that will be all for this Blaster review, an excellent set from the second wave of the Slizer Throwbot line. And of course, if you have any question or comments, feel free to post them on the comment section of the video. I will happily answer them, of course. And well, that's all. So I just have to say see you later for the last Slizer, which is the Millennium, or also known as Millennia Throwbot. And by the way, hope you enjoy this review, and see you later for another Millennia video review, or at least Slizer Throwbot video review. Bye bye.